Thelton and I met in 1954.
Well, I've known Thelton for a little over 40 years.
30 years ago, I met him for the first time. I was a young lawyer in my first appearance in federal court, and he sanctioned me $90 for violation of some rule that I didn't even know existed. Years later, when I met him first time socially, I explained this to him, and his answer was, "Well, did you pay it?"
Judge Henderson teaches about the art of judging.
I was giving a talk on some of the ethics and so forth, and Thelton said, and besides that, we'll talk about you in the lunchroom if you misbehave.
I didn't meet him for maybe a year. I talked to him several times on the phone, but he assumed that I was black for the first year or so of our relationship, because there's this guy named Turner who works for the NAACP Legal Defense Fund.
He is an inspiration.
He's got all of the attributes of a great judge.
A good person,
Very thoughtful,
loyal friend,
kind.
courageous.
His strength of character.
He was the first African American hired by the Justice Department. And after he infuriated George Wallace, he became the first African American, I believe, that was fired by the Justice Department.
I played poker with Thelton for 40 years.
Played poker together.
He's an amazingly good poker player.
And he was a good teacher. And there was a little tuition fees across the table in terms of the betting. But he was, very patient.
It's somewhat inconsistent with this public image of propriety and honesty and so on. He is an unbelievable bluffer.
As a judge, I look on him as a very gentle and firm judge.
And he was always there. I could pick up the telephone, call him, he'd answer the phone call.
Just the decisions that he's reached and the way he carries himself as a judge, he's really an inspiration to young people as well as to older people like myself.
Thelton is there for the long term to make sure that justice is really done.
For being so warm and welcoming to me, and for taking me under his wing, for showing me how I can follow in his footsteps, and I hope to be able to achieve that.